I'd now like to introduce and bring up the Sheriff of San Francisco, who's been a tremendous supporter of Five Keys since he came into office 3 years ago. And again, I can't say this enough, without the Sheriff's Department and the Sheriff's support today would not be possible. So it's my pleasure to introduce Sheriff Ross Mirkarimi.
Good afternoon. It's an honor and privilege to be here with you today, celebrating our esteemed graduates and celebrating the families and the friends and loved ones who all helped us get here to this day. These graduations are always starting on a high note and ending on a high note. But because of something tragic that recently happened in San Francisco, I actually want to take a moment for us to reflect with a moment of silence. You may have heard it was just a couple of weeks ago or so that 4 people were murdered in a vehicle in San Francisco. They were students of the Five Keys Charter High School in the community capacity. I don't believe that this was well reported in the press, and I don't think that that's been fully absorbed by our staff who really has a relationship with Five Keys. So I think if we could, let's just have a moment of silence for the 4 that were lost. Thank you. In 2014, there were nearly 50 homicides in the city and county of San Francisco. It's not the highest number it's been. When I was a supervisor presiding over District 5, that included the Western Addition and Fillmore, they had chronically every year until some strong intervention by communities that came together to help break that cycle of violence. Has re-upped itself a little bit in San Francisco, and we learned that in the course of the year that there were even several more students, former students of Five Keys, that had lost their lives in 2014. And I think that really helps spotlight the challenge that is before us here in San Francisco in the Bay Area, that while we come together and congratulate the incredible perseverance and resilience of the students that are up here. No matter if any wrong turns in their lives had occurred and their ability to overcome those turns, the loved ones who stood by them, our staff, an amazing staff of Five Keys that has worked with them and shuttled them along the way, and our staff of the Sheriff's Department helped make this happen. That much more of a statement of being able to graduate over 40 community graduates of Five Keys, and this morning we graduated 25 in custody, Five Keys Charter High School, says a lot, but it's not enough. It's absolutely not enough. Because in a country like ours, the United States, that incarcerates more people than any other nation on this planet, but then you look at the amount of dollars that are invested for public education, then it really is a telltale sign that we must up our game from the criminal justice system, but society, who must also press forward to insist that we provide better public education for our young people. And quite frankly, what it is, it's crime prevention. It is public safety strategy at its best because we see it work. I'll give you an example. In the country of Finland, and no reason really to think of Finland except maybe in this context, for every 100,000 people that are in the country of Finland, 61 are incarcerated. But in the United States, for every 100,000 people in this country, 716 are incarcerated. Finland, 61 for every 100,000, United States, 716. And you look at the commitment by their government versus our government of how much, in terms of their percentage that they invest in public education, could it be more astronomically different? I believe, and I know we all believe, and this is what we work towards, that if we really want safer communities, then we need to empower our communities that are most distressed and disadvantaged in the ways that we've seen for generations. And if we think that incarcerating people is simply the answer from the punishment model and not from a rehabilitative model, and a model where we're trying to empower people, then we're going to continue over generations to get it wrong. So that's why this is so vital, that we are celebrating. In fact, not only celebrating, we're recognizing that this morning's class was actually one of the lowest populated classes we had that was from incarceration, because San Francisco has now become one of the most undercrowded jail systems in the United States per capita. And so we're seeing lower jail population, we're seeing lower populations of people participating in 5 Keys, and now that ability to be able to outreach into communities and have satellite 5 Keys everywhere is one of the most, I think, important strategies in order to reclaim our streets and reclaim our communities. And the success due to the incredible hardworking staff of 5 Keys has now been recognized by sheriff's departments from around the state and around the country. You may not know this, but Los Angeles, which is the largest sheriff's department or jail system municipally in the United States and the largest municipal jail system on the planet, has now imported 5 Keys, San Francisco Sheriff's Department 5 Keys, into the sheriff's department down there. That's a huge deal, folks. That's a really huge deal. And that wouldn't have happened if it wasn't, I think, for the incredible demonstration of success up here. And now San Mateo, as I understand it, later this year or soon, will also bring in 5 Keys too. But for the rest of the other 49 states in this country, if it matters to you, and I think it does, for every county who is completely overwhelmed or stressed by high crime, where there are overcrowded conditions, unlike us, and they're trying to wrestle with what their role is in a criminal justice system that sees no break or interruption to high recidivism, repeat offender rates, then something has got to change in this country. So really, what we have before us here today is that while we are really applauding and saluting the individual achievements of the men and women that are out here and the community organizations that help shepherd them and sponsor them, your statement here today reflects much more on the state of California and in this country. And for all that, I congratulate you. Thank you.